Good evening and welcome to another weekly prep with Deutschmark Capital. So this will be a very quick one. Last week, I think around 6 days ago, I did a live session breaking down what could potentially happen 24th to 29th, and now we'll be looking at what could potentially happen from the 31st to I think the 5th of September. So if you watched this session, I broke down the fundamentals behind that sharp move that USD made, that all the USD pairs made actually, and it was caused by Jerome Powell's hint that we may cut interest rates simply because the job market was slowing down. And I pointed out possible reactions that the market could make. And I marked out some points that price could respect. I said that if price had broken this high, and would have been seeing just complete continuous bullishness from there. But then I marked out a couple other points that price could react to. My first of all sent out this FVG. Then obviously there's this OB right here that price eventually reacted off, right? So some of the projections I made was that price could potentially break that and wait, let me take that off. Yeah, could break that and then continue just going bullish, or you can go back to that video to confirm, or it was going to go back to this zone and then push up, or it could very easily just go down, break this, confirm the break, and continue to go downwards. But then I also decided to do some fundamentals and tied it. Then we had initial job claims, and if those news came out negative for the USD, it would have been very easy for the USD to just push bullish and continue the spike, right? But all the news that came out during the week were all positive for the USD. So if we're going by the news, the GU should be bearish, EU should be bearish, right? But so it should be bullish. So anyways, let's just see what the market has for us this week. So basically we're still within this range. We're still within this range, this trading range. Now based on how I personally trade, let me first of all make this okay. It's already a line. Just look at this. There's this high, there's this low. Based on how I personally trade, I follow the trend, and GU has not really done anything for me to want to pounce on it. So normally this is supposed to be a liquidity kind of grab for me, and I'll be looking to sell price from here. But I'm also considering the news, what it's doing, and what even EU is doing. So basically, I'm just observing price. I'm not really doing anything on G until GU breaks out of this range. Out of this range, I'm really not doing much. So I was just actually something I marked up last week was this is just me playing with my rules, but I don't break my rules, so I didn't take the trade. Let me make this black so you can see it. So that's supposed to be an LG, and price reacted off of this breaker block right here, and the target would have been here. So I didn't really take any trades on GU last week, and that would have been the target, as you can see. The price actually cleared it, tapped into it, and is pushing towards the target right now, and I think it will still hit it by as the week starts. What's wrong with my Facebook today? Let me open it again. Okay. So that's for GU. GU ain't really doing much. So what I'm expecting is for GU to push forward and break this overall high. Once it breaks it, then we'll confirm that we're now bullish. And it looks like those rate cuts is actually going to happen. And then if price breaks that level, I'm bullish on GU for the week, just bullish. But if price does not do that, then maybe price will be in this range for a longer time or begin to break down more. I'm actually expecting it to continue bullish. What's this now? Okay, while my FX book is still trying to open up, let me go to EU to show you some of the trades that we took throughout the week. Okay, so on EU, after that spike, I literally said I as price broke this, now I'm bullish. I tried to buy off of here. I took a -1 here, so there was a losing trade here. Then I tried to buy here again, and I took another losing trade. And I sent a particular. Wait, let me show you something. Let me show you something that I sent to the group. I sent all the trades for the happen chat, so, but let me look for one. There's one in particular that I sent. I said if price, I just needed price to trickle down below here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, yes. I said until price trickles below this low, I'm not interested in any buys anymore. So once since I did taking a loss here and a loss here, right? That's -2. So I need price to clear out this liquidity before I began to look for buys and then see exactly what happened. Let me just show you from here. Price did trickling down. Okay. Then it did one extra leg that made it look like we're now bearish, right? It did one extra leg that makes it seem like we're now bearish. But then I was watching and watching and watching and watching and watching. And eventually it did this. Okay. Then we got to this point. So after price had trickled down, broke here, changing the trend back to bullish. Then we're confirming bullish again. And then I was expecting for price to like just grab liquidity here and then push forward. And that's exactly where when I saw this particular move happen, right? But that didn't give us an entry based on our rules. Then the next one, that is GU. I was not even planning to take a trade on GU. The initial jobless claims came out and it was positive for the USD. Usually should push EU down, but did not do that, which was shocking. Okay, so eventually this was a setup that eventually gave us another trade right here. After price broke again, liquidity grab below that low for us to jump in. Then great, then I found this entry and I'll break all of them down. And it was a full TP on EU. So that was basically the only trade that we took on EU. Now let me go back to it. Since I've showed you that I sent it beforehand, let me go back to here now. So my price grabbed, it's almost like the same thing that happened last week when I waited for price to grab liquidity below here. As it did that, then pion. Now I did the same thing here, grab liquidity below this lows, and then it pushed forward again, but it's still pushing. We're not done with the push. So liquidity grab below there, it reacted off of this hidden OB, and my entry was somewhere inside it. But I still even took a loss first before it happened. So that was -1 here, -2 here, -3 here, but still trusting the edge. Then we got a +7R. So that usually this is pure mathematics. 7 minus 3 equals to what? +4R. So we're still up 4R for the week, right? So that's what happened last week. I didn't even take any trades on GU on UJ because it's still doing the same thing as GU. Didn't really give us a nice direction. So the week before we got like I think was it 11? Okay, 16 hour thereabout last week from GU and UJ. Then this week +4R. So overall for the month we're up 39R, right? And there's even that one trade from EU that I didn't count. So that's this one. It would have been 50 plus. So this is the reality of trading. You win some, you lose some, but your job as a trader is to sit your ass down and trust your edge. Take every single trade that your system gives you. If you start to miss trades, that's when your edge messes up. That's when you start to see inconsistencies in your system. But this will only work for you if you have a mechanical trading system, meaning that you have a completely rule-based system. Every decision point has a rule, right? Every decision point has a rule. You don't just take things because you feel like taking them, but there's a rule governing it and guiding it. So once you have that, your job now as a trader is to sit your ass down and follow every single setup that comes your way. As long as it's valid and it's under your rules, take it. Don't let distractions of life take those things away. Someone said something very profound. The same way we have an equal reaction for every action, I think there's an equal distraction for every passion. So kill your distractions and just focus on the trades that could happen. So what could I potentially see on EU this week? Now, this is the current major high that we are in right now. Make that let's make that colored, yes. And this is the major low that cost it. Let me take off this zone first of all so you can see clearly. So what we're expecting is possible a Dow price come this low, but just in case he wants to, let me leave it there. So price could very easily trickle down and grab liquidity below here and then push. Very easily do that. Or it could just push from here and then do another move. That's what I'll be expecting. But my target overall is still intact for EU. I'm still seeing EU getting to 1.17428, as I said last week. And from the 4 hour, that analysis is still very much intact. Where, sorry, it's from daily, not the 4 hour, where I said that price could potentially get to here overall at the end of the day. That's 1.18329. That's if the dollar remains, if the dollar keeps getting weak. Because if it goes strong, it's gonna drop. So fundamentals still having a decision to play here. The thing is, fundamentals can tell you why, but not the when. But the technicals will tell you when. So we do not have a when yet, but we just need that news to come out. So we're waiting for NFP, first Friday of September. They will know exactly what we're doing. But the funny thing is, by the time NFP comes out, the move would have happened. It's just gonna be like a very big spike. Pew! So you need to align before the news comes. And from the technicals I'm seeing, we're still bullish. Just align with the trend. When you align with the trend, most times you're more right than you're wrong. You get it. You've seen the way I trade. Every single time I took a position, the direction was right. Even when I took a loss here and a loss here, the direction was still right because I'm following the trend. I'm not saying you will not take losses. Losses are inevitable from your trading. It's your business cost. It's you can't avoid it. Okay, so I broke down the fundamentals last week. I have no idea why this guy is not working, but let me just tell you what to expect. It finally worked. Okay, great. So now for Monday, we've not got any high impact. All these euro news really they're not really gonna do much because the euro is strong. I'll do a deeper dive on it later. But what I'm looking for is just news on the USD. So Tuesday, nothing much. Okay, we have SP Global Manufacturing PMI. So you may want to pay attention to that as well if it makes the dollar strong or makes it weak. Okay. Then we have some medium news on the USD. Then we have import, export, initial jobless claims again. Just keep your eyes centered on them, looking at them to see if they are bullish for the USD or bearish for the USD, right? That's all you need. Then the most important one of them is your NFP, non-farm payrolls. That is what would tell us if truly the job market is slowing or if it's booming. If it's slowing down, the Fed may still cut the rates, and we're going to see this happen again. It's gonna pume. It's gonna be bearish for the USD and bull run. Boom, it's gonna go very high. But if they don't cut and probably even hike, I doubt they'll hike the rates. If they hike the rates, it's dying. That's highly unlikely that they'll hike the rates. But if you leave it steady, EU may just be flowing in a very controlled pace and break all the targets I have set. So first of all is this. Second one is much higher here. Then UJ, which I'm still not expecting anything because it's still within this range. Still within this range. I'm not really seeing anything happening on UJ. Until it breaks out of this range, I'm not doing anything on UJ, basically. You get. So that's that for UJ. Then the last thing I want to just look at is gold. Let me see what gold did during the week. Let me look at Wanda, for example. Oh, I said gold was bullish, right? Oh my god. Go to my last week call and check everything I marked out. I said gold was going to hit first things first, 3,410, right? You can literally see the marking here. I literally said gold was going to hit this first, then hit this second, and it just did that. It's clear as day. So this thing is very simple. Just align yourself with the dominant trend. Once you do that, you'll be wrong less times than you're right. I literally said this live last week, and you can see it already hit. Boom, like straight up. It didn't even waste any time. But I don't trade gold though. So possible places you could have entered. Let's see the trend boom, maybe one here. Then yeah, this one is one that I might have. Okay, and then this break here. It already happened. Okay, very good. This is where something that aligns with my system would have been something here. Then a push from here. Boom, yeah, that's something that aligns with my system that I could have taken that push. Then you tap into this. Came very close. I could have taken it out from here because of this. So it's that break. Yeah, that was an LG as well. That was a possible that move that I could have taken. Then price broke. That's all I would have taken for one final one here. But I don't trade good. I'm just checking for my system if there was any trade for me. Then maybe this last push from here, boom to the tops. So that's all. I don't trade gold, but we can still analyze it regardless. So let me see if I can do one thing like I did now for gold. Let me see for BTC. If I'll see anything on BTC. Let me just go back. Oh shit. Binance. BTC, Binance. Okay, so BTC looks bearish. Let me look from the daily first of all. Let me see what's going on. Okay, BTC is still bullish, very bullish. Obviously, from the rise from the bat, I can see that's a liquidity grab. Price may react off of here and keep pushing, or see up until price gets here, price is still bearish. Up until price gets here, price is still bullish. So it can react from anywhere it likes. Can react from there, can try to react from here. But I'm telling you, BTC is still bullish. It's rather push from here or push from here. But if it decides to break down here, then we're bearish. I want to see price go down. But this will only happen if they hike the rates. If they keep the economy steady, probably we're gonna. If they keep the rate steady and the dollar keeps getting weak, we're pushing. BTC is pushing. This for daily time frame. So on your 4-hour time frame, so let me mark this high. That high right there is 123,716. That's what I'm seeing happening on BTC. Though I don't trade BTC as I said before. On the 4-hour, BTC is bearish on the 4-hour. Structure. The break of 1, 2, switch down, liquidity grab, downwards. Okay, on the 4-hour, we're still bearish, right? We're bearish. So price is gonna keep trickling down until it picks up momentum from the daily and start pushing upwards. So for now, on the 4-hour, we're clearly bearish. So don't start to change your bias to bullish simply because I said it's gonna be bullish long term. It's just what I'm saying from the higher time frame, right? So that would have been a place I would have sold based on my system on the 4-hour time frame. So just align with the trend. That's all you need. Then from the 30 minutes, which is the time frame I trade on, very bearish. So that's all for GU. For BCC. So EU, UJ, GU are the only three pairs I trade, and I'm expecting a continuation of the bullishness that we saw last week on EU. Excuse me, maybe price breaks out for UJ and gives me an entry somewhere. I don't know, but my job is to execute every setup that my system presents for me. If it does not present anything, then I don't do anything. I just trust my system and then act accordingly. So you've seen the accuracy of what I drop here, so you don't want to be missing out on these weekly calls. Just use it to align yourself and have a clear head of how you analyze your market. Follow the trend. You'll be wrong way less than you're currently doing. I know you guys are used to support and resistances, but bro, there are things better than that. I know I'm not saying they don't work, they work very well, but what you have to do is to make your system rule based. If you have a completely rule based system, you'll be fine no matter what you use, whether support resistance, OBs, FVGs, ICT, doesn't matter. Just have a rule based system and test your system so well to have enough data on it so you have the confidence to trade it live. Right then, let me look at sentiment for let me see what's happening. Usually sentiment starts to play a role when we're having numbers of 70, 90, 80 and the rest, but right now what we're seeing that majority of people are short on EU. 72% of people are short on EU, which reinforces my buys on EU, and 56% of people are short on GU, reinforces my buys as well. UJ, you have more people long. Okay, but these two don't really carry much weight, but EU carries a lot of weight at 72. For GJ, I don't trade GJ, but let's see what's going on there. Let's just end this call right now, right? I'm not here to tell you anything. Just want to show you what the market could potentially do for the week. This is too choppy. Oh my god, no, I don't like this. But my analysis was still correct though. I liquidity gap above the high, then price is trickling down right now to target, which is right here. That's a lot of movement that did not go to targets. What the hell? If for example I take a sell here now, imagine slow. I mean I've closed here because this is too much movement, bro. But anyways, that'll be all for this week. I'll see you next week. So you may wonder why I'm not telling you about the DMC now cycle. The spots are almost filled. So if I mention it right now, what I mention I don't mention it's gonna be filled before tomorrow, before the doors close. So if you want to do that, just head over to DMC ic.uwu.ai, you'd find something very interesting, but I'm not going to talk much about it. Just go there and do your due diligence. Boom. So that'll be all for this week. I'll see you guys soon. And I'm gonna be having a psychology session, a psychology mastery session in about 2 weeks or 1 week time, like September 10th, 11th, 12th, between that ranges. So stay tuned to this space and you'd find a very proven method to defeat psychological problems forever. So just stay tuned and I'll see you there. Thank you guys for watching and please make sure you really review the things I talked about. Don't play with them. You've seen that they work for like 3, 4, 5 weeks now. If you look at anything I projected, it most likely happened, right? So just I'm not saying take my directions as signals because you can see obviously there are always wrong trades. Everybody has wrong trades, but the overall direction was right and we're able to still capitalize on it. It's not like we just talk and we didn't take any trades. This was one and I was taking it in the inner circle. As you can see, everybody people took it. Let me find one. Um, where's it? Find them coming. Hold on. So I was not alone. So someone also took it as well. Yeah, following the exact rules as me. So the way this thing works is, since I'm trading the exact same rules as you, whatever trades I take, you'd also take them. Nothing like I'm winning as your mentor, then you'll be losing. It makes no sense because we're trading the exact same rules. Any trade I see, is the same trade you will see. I train you to be able to see like me. You get right? So any results I get, you'd mirror it. So it makes your development a lot easier. But that'll be all for this call. I'll see you in the next one. That will be next week Sunday. So stay tuned. Even check your mails if you're signed up in our for our um weekly prep emails. You also get it in your mail. So thanks for joining in. I'll see you next week. Bye.